be streaming a lot from the Xbox over this weekend, so good to know that it's working. Okay, so I guess without further ado, I'm not gonna have a timer on screen because I can't, because Xbox, but I'm gonna be doing a timer on my phone while I play, and then I might go back in and add it in when I submit it to the board. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So first thing, you're gonna have only played through this once, so I'm gonna be pretty bad yet. But the first thing you can notice is I already have files. I've already played through most of the game, or all the game, like a third of the DLC. And so I can just skip these cutscenes. The first time through, you can't skip the cutscenes, and so that is if people decide to run this, definitely something to take into account. So that big candle I lit in the middle, I completely forgot there were holes here, but okay. That big candle I lit in the middle is kind of, I don't want to say quite halfway inherently, but it is a checkpoint, so if I die, I'll respawn there. The other candles are solely to help. They give you a little bit of lighting that you might not otherwise get. And those are, in a sense, the game's collectibles. So in the any percent category, they are not required. In fact, I don't want to inherently say it's a waste of time because, yeah, it does give you light, and that's always good. But a lot of candles are kind of out of the way, and so not inherently a reason to get them unless you absolutely are going for the all candles category. But those in your way, you might as well. I mean, there's not really much of a reason not to, but still not something you want to inherently waste a lot of time on. And I'm gonna die there. So each level you get 10 lives. So presumably, okay, so I'm going a little too early there. Presumably all that does is if you hit the checkpoint and you lose all 10, then you're probably just back at the beginning. I don't know, it never happened to me, so... Like, I've lost lives before, of course, but... Like, I almost did there, damn. But yeah, I've never actually lost all 10 in a level. So I'm not entirely sure what happens. And so we're coming up the the end of chapter 1. I can already tell there's the difference in skipping cutscenes. I did this my casual playthrough about roughly 10 minutes a chapter. A lot of the later chapters are a little bit longer. But that was also including all the cutscenes. And so I'm running on about 5.5 minutes. Probably about 6 by the time I get through this. So I don't want to say it's quite an auto-scroller here. Oh. But there's not much I can do to really speed this up. And we're coming up here. On the end of chapter 1, so it's circle, circle, square, triangle. I think this code is different every time. So yeah, well, that's about 7 actually, but I think maybe not mechanically, but definitely aesthetically, this is one of my favorite chapters in the game. Because a lot of this is built on these paper cycles here, and cycles as far as there's some stuff later on that requires some timing stuff. So, I mean, it's a pretty simple game, control-wise. Some of the later levels do get fairly challenging if you don't know what to do. It took me a while to get through some of them. So these are the other cycles I was talking about. Oh, dang it. That these bottles kind of go in and out. And with their powder or whatever, it makes you float. So if you're fast enough, I'm sure you could probably catch those a bit quicker. So far, so good. Twitch hasn't cut out on me, so thrilled. Yeah, I'm not gonna go for it. I probably could have made it, but checkpoint's right here, so I didn't want to risk it too much. It's funny, I did actually, I made the boards for this. I realized that they actually didn't exist until like late last week. Or maybe even early this week. I don't remember quite when it was. But yeah, so I was the one who submitted the game to the leaderboards. And it's kind of cool because I tweeted about it. And I think the publisher and one of the guys who works for the publisher like retweeted it and stuff. But then I got a message from the publisher saying that the guy who created this game, sometime next week, once the Steam version comes out, he's actually going to speedrun this too. So that's going to be really awesome. It'll certainly be really cool to see how well he does compared to like me or anyone else he might. Yeah, someone who created the game and has spent a long time working on it and all of that. I'm sure. I feel like he was probably joking, or they were probably joking when they said he was going to have the record for a long time. But I also think like he's serious. Like, I mean, you spend so much time working on a game, like you get good at it. Like for instance, Celeste. Okay, Celeste just came out, and the Celeste, the devs, one of the guys made like Towerfall, very in tune with the speedrunning community. I mean, to the point where at least 3 of them are in the speedrunning's Discord server. I mean, they've been monumental in making sure the game is, you know, a good speedrun. There's a lot of, I'm not making that one. That was dumb. And now you can see how costly deaths are too. I mean, like really. But so yeah, they're in the speedrunning Discord, and it's really great. You know, there's a lot of like skips and stuff that are in the game that they purposely left in the game for us to find. Like I believe they said if you find something like a skip or something like that, like chances are we know about it and we left it in there intentionally for you guys. But first, I think my best time on Forsaken City or Chapter 1 is like a minute 41. I'm just gonna wait. It's like a minute 41. And I think back at the time I was out, my best time was like 2:10, 2:15, something like that. Anyway, one of the devs, I guess, has put so much time into it that his best time is like a 1:10. And we're all like, what the hell? And there's the B-side, which you might have seen me do yesterday. It took me 21 minutes. And apparently he's got it down to sub 2. And so it's just like, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you work on a game. Like, you spend so much time, you know, working on it and playing it that of course you're gonna naturally, you know, get good at it. No. I think that was the wrong way to go. But even now, like, I mean, people are pushing it down. Like, someone I think had like a 115 I saw. It's like, damn. The game hasn't even been out for, or just under 24 hours, and we're already at a 115 chapter 1. Like, damn. Like, so this is chapter 3. You'll notice, like I said, all of the chapters kind of have unique mechanics in addition to aesthetics. This, so we're not gonna see the floaty stuff anymore. Instead, this level like takes place on a ship, and we have to dodge these flames because we're a candle. I mean, flames are bad for any living thing anyway, but particularly with candles because candles burn. And so touching them won't like kill us. Ow. Okay, that will kill us. But touching the flames won't inherently kill you, I don't think. But it will run your wick down and earwax, so it will like slowly kill you. It's like an accelerated form of lighting yourself on fire, so you can see. And there's some levels later on that do the same thing with light. That, you know, if you stand in the light starts burning you. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what the story is off the top of my head. Basically, something about you're a candle and you see a lighthouse, and you like want to shine bright like the lighthouse. I was very tempted to say shine bright like a diamond, but shine bright like a lighthouse. And so you go on this journey to like get to the lighthouse, and I guess figure out how you can light yourself, be brighter as a candle, as a source of light. So it's kind of a three-part puzzle here. So here it's triangle, circle, square. So what we want to do, pushes, is make sure we can hit these in the right order. So the triangle, or the arrow, whatever you want to call it. That's not the wrong way. I think it's fine. Yeah, so the triangle's here, or the arrow. Should be able to pass underneath. Then we want the circle, which is right next to us. And again, I think these... I don't know if I can get it from this. Actually, I think I can. So that was a very good pattern. I don't have to move the thing twice. And then go through this door. The other benefit of burning yourself So I'm gonna push it the other way. The other benefit to burning yourself is you're a candle, so you drip wax. And so you kind of get this Hansel and Gretel-like effect. Where you, since you drip wax, you can kind of see where you've been. Certain places, the wax will drop. And you can kind of tell, oh, there's a platform here, I stood on it. And that persists between times. So it's very useful when you die, because then you can kind of, it's like giving you information about the platforms and stuff. There's a game, a very similar concept, that you're like a blob or something, and every time you touch ground it like spurted color, and so you could see based on where the paint splatters were, you can make out the layout of the platforms. So now we're on, I think this is, I should have been paying a bit more attention. I think this is the last chapter of, or the last level of chapter 3. It would help if I didn't fall directly into the fire. But yeah, we're significantly faster without the cutscenes. Like, it's crazy. Because we're at about coming up on 22 minutes. Which, and granted, maybe part of that is I know a bit more about what I'm doing. But that was close. And so I think maybe certainly the whole like, oh, I know what I'm doing thing probably helps quite a bit in that too. But cutscenes, since we can cut them out, I don't want to die yet. Checkpoint's right there. I don't want to do all that again. Because there are a lot of parts like this one coming up that I died quite a few times on that I shouldn't have. So here we have another kind of auto-scroller. To wrap the chapter. Mostly, at this point, we're just dodging. And I just jumped into the water. Great. So we'll try this again. Ah, damn it. Wasn't quite paying attention, which is a very bad thing to do during a speedrun. You want to make sure you pay attention. Yeah, water's pretty bad. As you can tell in chapter 1, like, you can stand in a little bit of water, like if it comes up to your knees or something. But, much more than that. Ugh. Surprised I made that. So now it just gets a bit harder. That entire column of blocks there just got sucked into the whirlpool. So I have less room to maneuver. And we're about to lose the left column, so now I just got these three here. It's a very narrow passage. And I just, oh my god, I'm choking right now. Kick up the music again. But yeah, it's I mean, if you're looking for something fun to do, actually a very great game. Like, it's not terribly difficult. But it's cute. It's a very interesting concept. Very well executed, I think, for what it is. All the levels feel pretty unique, just because of the different mechanics within. I mean, they take this whole idea of light and shadow and just toy with it the entire game, and it's pretty great. Okay, so I guess fire does kill you immediately. Lesson learned. Light does not. Fire does. As I probably should have guessed that, but... Okay, we got it this time. No chokes. But yeah, the entire game plays with this idea of, like, light and shadow. And you'll especially see that once we get, I think it's chapter 8. That might actually be my favorite chapter in the entire game, just because mechanically, like, it's not inherently unique. It pulls from something that's been going on in games at least since, like, Super Mario 64 and, like, Sonic Adventure and that sort of thing. It's the idea of, like, reflections in a mirror, and, like, you might not be able to see something in real life or within the game itself, but you can tell where things are by their shadows and the mirror, and you can see it through a mirror and stuff. So not inherently unique, but they do take that idea and run with it a little bit. Whew. That should be the end of it. Yep. They take it and kind of add their own, like, Candleman twist to it, which is really cool. So I think last time I did this, it probably took me about 2 hours, 10 minutes. Again, that was a blind playthrough. I wasn't particularly accurately timing it, but it was about thereabouts. So we're about 28.5 minutes. So, yeah, not quite on par with okay, can't go that way. A little ahead of where I was, so I'm sure I'll save time later. So, this is chapter 4. We're kind of in a forest. Kind of the key mechanic here involves these plants, and they're photosensitive. So, you know, we light the plants. Oh, look, we can see a path. Or we not so much light the plants, but, you know, once we expose them to light, And you can more easily see, it kind of leaves a trail for us. However, that's not always a good thing. You see these plants kind of in the background are also photosensitive. And you'll see it more in later chapters, or in later levels in this chapter. But those those plants are dangerous. You touch them, you die. So a lot of this is controlled bursts of lights in this chapter. It's very important to be able to see where you're going, and there's stuff in this chapter that requires light in order to be able to move forward. It's just a matter of how much light do you give, when do you give it. See, as you can see, the more I'm lighting, the harder it is to navigate. I mean, the plants are there regardless. But, oh, see. Oh, there's a branch there. That's why also lighting candles can actually hinder you a little bit, too. Because it creates a permanent light source, and if there are plants nearby, and they're close enough, then that's a very bad thing. But we got through that without any difficulty, so I'm very happy about that. Look how many candles are on that one. I think there's 11. Yep. So not only do you have to really watch your health, but you also really have to be careful, like I said, of when you light. And not for health purposes, but for when you light and how much and for how long. Generally, like short. I mean, mostly because of the 10-second timer. I mean, even just kind of in general, but short bursts are generally the way to go. Just because, you know, the longer you hold it, the less, you know, life you have, and if you need it later, then you're kind of screwing yourself. Oh, I just walked toward the screen. That's gonna kill a little time. I don't even know what happened there. I didn't even know you could do that. I kind of assumed it was against the wall, but man, you know what they say about assuming things, so. And like, to be fair, the oh, probably should have lit that candle, but I mean, once you get used to like where you're going and like wandering in the dark, it's not as bad. Like, for instance, like the reason that people can like navigate dark rooms in The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past is because they know the layout. Like, the layout doesn't change. I was surprised I made it, honestly, but... And so you get used to walking in the dark. If you know where you're going, if you know the layout of the room, it's not a problem. Same thing here, if you kind of know where you're going, then it's not as bad. And you can get by with a very, very rapid burst. There we go. Really, that's chapter 4. So there are 5 levels in chapter 5. This one involves a lot of water. And particularly these moving platforms, or rising platforms, and what I guess kind of Candleman's equivalent to a sailboat. Which I don't think we'll see this level, but coming up in a level or two, we definitely will. I guess some of these platforms move. And I guess technically it is vertical motion anyway, but so a little bit of a reminder that tonight, probably about 9 o'clock, maybe a little after 9, somewhere around there, I'm going to try and start my Halo marathon. I am not entirely positive that I mean, I'll go until I feel like I need to go to bed. I don't know how long that'll be, but I'm going to try and get through at least Halo 2. And I mean, I would like to just marathon the entire fucking thing, but... we'll try and get there at least Halo 2, and then I'll come back tomorrow and finish up the rest of it. Tomorrow at 2, I'm also planning on taking place in a mystery race. So, or sorry, a blind race. Oh, that was a bad idea. Not a mystery, blind. Basically, I just get a game, like everyone gets the same game. I know what it is technically, I don't know anything about it. That's kind of the point, is that I don't know anything about it. And they just give it to me, and we see, I guess, who can finish it first, or who can get the furthest in a specified time, or something like that. So that'll be fun. It is the last one for the season, because the community in charge is hosting a mystery tournament that I'm hoping to take part in, depending on if my submission gets approved or not. Okay, I think I might be able to make that, but I'm not going to do it right now. And with that, basically the idea is kind of the same thing. It's not so much a blind race so much, but it's a series of races where you're literally only told what you're going to be playing like minutes before the race. And so, luck of the draw, you know, technically you could get a game that you've already have experience in, and, you know, lucky for you if so, but in the same vein, your opponent might also. But they're supposed to be short races just due to the nature of the mystery of it. So that'll be starting up soon. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully I will be able to take part in that. I think it'll be pretty fun. But I'll know more about that later about whether I'm actually going to be able to participate or not. But yeah, so Halo Marathon tonight / tomorrow, mystery race, or not mystery race, damn it, blind race tomorrow. Oh, this is wow, this is where the lighting comes into play, kind of like the sailboat-like mechanic, except with light instead of wind. And then tomorrow night, do something that I've been meaning to do for a long ass time. We'll get some Life is Strange Before the Storm, episode 3. And then we will, maybe, if depending on time, hopefully come back and finally finish Firewatch. Because I still have to do that too. So that's kind of plans for this weekend. I don't think I'm doing anything on Sunday. So I might try and stream. Most likely I'll probably focus on homework. So I have a lot of important stuff coming up next week that I gotta get done. But I'm not counting anything out. So just make sure to follow my Twitter for any information about that. Okay, so since you're talking about Monster Hunter, what's the appeal of Monster Hunter? Because I tried, granted maybe it's because it was on the 3DS, but like I tried the demo for one of them a while ago, maybe Ultimate, and like I just didn't care for it too much. Like I didn't see the point. Fuck, I forgot to jump. I mean, and I'm not trying to say it's a bad game or anything. Like, I just personally have never understood, like, why it's such a big deal. It's like Skyrim. Like, I don't understand why Skyrim continues to be such a big deal. Or ever was. Like, it's just not my style of game. Like, and I get it. Like, you know, that is... yeah, a lot of people's style. Like, I don't know. Oh, I was dumb. Okay, I can see that, I guess. I didn't realize there was such a big co-op component to it. I'm losing a lot of time on this level because I'm just dumb. Man, indies are cool. No, I get it. Like we all have our own tastes. And... like, I mean, honestly, if there's like one genre that like isn't my thing, it's definitely like action RPGs. You know, Skyrim, Fallout, etc. Breath of the Wild. Like I love the turn-based JRPG stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, love it. But, like, I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's probably. Oh, fuck, what I. Oh yeah, that's right. Like, I'm sure there's. Oh yeah, not saying they're bad, but like I'm positive there's some game somewhere like in that style that I've played and like put a lot of time into and really enjoyed. I couldn't tell you what it is off the top of my head though. Like I've tried playing Fallout 3 like 10 times. I've tried playing New Vegas like 10 times. Tried playing Fallout 4 a few times, Skyrim a few times. Like, I just something about it does just not appeal to me. Yep. Like I'm sure at some point there's been some like action RPG that I just fell in love with, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it could possibly be. Oh, the other thing I'm not real big on is things like Minecraft. That's the wrong way. Like the building survival stuff. Oh, wrong way. Like, I say that as, like, I remember the day Minecraft came out on the 360. And I was dead set on not getting it. But somehow, like, I don't know if my friend talked me into it, or if I just, like, one of those rare cases where I'm like, you know, I don't like this game, like, I don't like this genre, but fuck it, I'm gonna get it anyway. Because that happens too. So it might have been one of those kind of cases. But, yeah, for someone who's not into Minecraft, I think the day it came out on the 360, I must have put like a solid 8 straight hours into it. My mom was not happy with that, but that puzzle took me so damn long when I did it the first time. And that's the thing, like, I don't like Minecraft. Except when I like Minecraft. Like, I'm very, 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 very rarely in the mood to play it. But sometimes, like, when I am in the mood, I will get on and I'll just play for like 5 hours. Again, very rarely. But it happens. And like every time I play, like I cannot play Minecraft for less than like 3 hours at a time. But it's just so rare that I actually like want to play it. I mean, I wish I could do the same thing with things like Fallout. Because, like, I as much as I've played a Fallout, like, I know I would like Fallout if I could just, like, really get into it. That's kind of my problem. It's just, like, it's good. I've played enough of it to know it's fantastic. But, like, there's just, I get bored with it. like way too easily. Okay, so here we go in chapter 7. We're out of the forest, and we're into the lighthouse. Or at least somewhere like something like that. It's very mechanical, as opposed... I think we are in the lighthouse at this point, or at the base of it. But it's very mechanical. As opposed to like the last 3 chapters, which were very natural and full of vines and flowers and things like that. Like Skyrim 2, especially Skyrim, like it's one of those things that, like, maybe it's because everyone fucking loves it, but like it's just one of those things that like I want to like so bad, but I can never find the time. Like I never have the drive to actually go play it. I'm doing pretty well on this. We're at just over 57 minutes. I would, and I might, like, if I had actually played the DLC stuff before, I might actually just do the plus DLC category as well, but I'll stick with the base game for now. Actually, I get done a lot sooner than I thought, but still only going. Oh, nope. I do want to go to the. I'm going to the basketball game later, so I do want to make sure I have plenty of time to eat and all that stuff. I mean, I always forget that happens. My casual playthrough, I died like 7 times to that spot. I think it is possible to make that first cycle, too. I swear I've done it before. Like, eventually what kills me is just the grindy bullshit. I'm a person who cannot stand grindy bullshit. I used to play World of Warcraft quite a bit. Loved it, like it was real fun. Ooh, not falling for it. But my problem with it, you know, at a certain point, just was the fact that it just got to be nothing but fetch quests and just grinding for levels so you can do like the next big quest or whatever. It's like, that's not my idea of a good time. Like, if I want to I'm playing a game to play the game and to like do the story and like all that stuff. Like, I don't want to have to sit there and do like repetitive shit over and over and over, just so I can continue on with like the main story. Oh, it's kind of, I don't want to say inherently what kind of turned me off from Destiny 2, but like part of that was I was doing like a YouTube series with some friends and trying to one of those cases where like I start recording something and I don't want to finish playing it unless I'm recording, but I never feel like recording it. So but like Destiny 2, a lot of the missions were level locked. Like, oh, you couldn't progress past this point unless you were level 12. And if you did nothing but story up to that point, then you might be only like level 10 or maybe like 9.5 or something. And it's like, I don't want to sit there and just do mindless bullshit in order to get to the game. Or what I perceive to be the game. Like, it's just not fun for me. And that's why, like, any MMO I've ever played, like, I eventually just drop. Either because I started to play with friends and they don't play anymore, or because, you know, it just gets to a point where it's, like, nothing but grinding, and I don't do that. So anyway, this is, level 3. Of chapter 7. Kind of introducing the mechanic of these light up floors. Unlike a lot of things in this game, like, these floors actually do disappear when they aren't lit. So, like, you saw me light the one candle on the platform. That's actually real nice, because it keeps those platforms permanently. And even you see that there with the thing, you can either walk off the bridge or just light it up enough that, you know, by the time you get over it, you can literally just drop onto it, because the things don't, they literally don't exist if you can't see them. And therefore it is also possible, and it's happened to me many of times, is you have to be careful when you spawn them, because it is possible to like have one spawn on you, and that sucks because it does kill you. That's right, that's a candle. This is the way I need to go. So some candles are actually very beneficial in that sense. I think I need to go that way. See, like there, that's a very tricky one, because you have to like get to a point where I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to have enough light to like get yourself these platforms, but also like time your light well enough to just, you know, create those bottom platforms without falling, or without spawning like on top of you, because that also goes. But that's chapter 7. That's significantly faster than what I did casually. So like already I'm shaving off like, I mean, I still got a little bit to go yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be sub 2. Might even very well be sub 130. So this is the chapter I was telling you about. probably my favorite chapter in the game. Just because I've just always been a fan of this like shadow puzzle kind of thing, and even here with just the plain shadows. Yeah, again, not the first game to do it, but they do it very well in here. The cool thing about it also is that, you know, much like you would expect, like shadows can't exist without light. And so like in this case it's less of like you're lighting yourself, but you're more like extinguishing your reflection, I guess. And so when you let your shadows can't exist without light, so when you extinguish your little reflection, then the shadows go away, and all these platforms that you have disappear because they don't exist. But yeah, they like I said, they do some pretty interesting stuff, I think, at least, with it. So now we're kind of getting into this whole not only are you looking at it in one dimension from like where the reflections and stuff, but like you gotta pay attention, like you're looking at it from above, you know, like how do I determine height and that sort of thing. I think this is see that part right there is where I really decided this was my favorite chapter. Because like not only do you have to look at like horizontally where platforms are, but you also have to look like from a top-down perspective so you can see where the gaps are. I just thought that was really cool. Because it's not as straightforward as just like following the thing, you know, you gotta there we go. Like there I had to, you know, realize that, oh, not only do I have to jump because the platforms are higher, but there's also gaps. Like here. I think this is really where it starts coming into play. I think it might have been this point I really decided I liked this chapter. Although I think it was chapter 10. It's the only one of the DLC levels or chapters I played through yet. But it was a pretty solid, some pretty solid mechanics. It's in the running for like maybe second favorite chapter. But I just think it's cool that I can like, ow. I say that. It's like, I'm not even looking where my actual guy is. I'm just watching the mirror. It's like, that's where you're gonna see where everything is. Oh, I guess I was a little too far forward. I might try and go for the closer to the mirror route. So now we really start getting into it, because we have blocks, and it's like one of the few times I think the mechanics actually kind of carry over, like, because we still have these blocks. So we have the platforms that only exist when they're lit up, interspersed with the platforms that only exist when there's no light. And you're constantly having to go back and like switch between the two. I think the important thing to realize here for me is that the platforms don't, unlike the blue ones, the platforms like don't immediately disappear. Oh, I just jumped into, I got a little confused there. Like, there's a little bit of time before the platforms disappear, whereas the purple blocks just die immediately. So like even that I can stand on. Why did I do that? Okay, I gotta focus, or else I might have to like go back to the beginning of this stage, which I don't want to do. Focus. Like I'm throwing away my sub 130 here. Like. Okay, good to know I can just skip all that. Oh! Forgot, surprise. Fuck. Oh, not yet. There we go. So what I can do is just... Oh god, I'm gonna lose all my lives. Yep, just lost all my lives. Damn it. Oh, that's never happened before. See, I'm still practicing for GDQ. Good to know. That's kind of what I assumed would happen, though. You just lose any... progress. Which is fine. It's not a long level anyway. I'm already halfway. Um, so recently, as I think you noticed from my tweets, that I invested in a movie pass. Oh, look, I just nailed that one shot too. Damn. And it's like one of the best things I've ever spent money on. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like this week alone, I've gone to see 3 movies. One of which I'd already seen, but I've gone to see 3 movies, which is legitimately more than I think I've ever seen in like a 6-month period before. So like, certainly more than I've ever seen in a week. Maybe more than certainly more than I've seen in a month. But I would say even so I mean certainly within. Oh, I can just jump up here. So I want it all the way over here. Damn it. Very well worth it though. Like, I mean, I think those movies alone, and just the 3 of them, probably would have cost me like $25 to $30 because of when I did and did not go see them. Or because of, I guess because of when I saw them. Ticket price, but probably like $25 to $30. Oh, there's more to that. That's been great. Like, I didn't get to go Wednesday because late class. Didn't get to go yesterday because I went home for the night. Not doing it tonight because I am doing this and because I'm going to the basketball game and my Halo thing. And tomorrow I might if I have time, but so there's definitely things I want to see before they leave theaters, and I don't know how close they are to leaving. You kidding me? I can't jump this. A little too high. Fuck. Yeah, I got up there and I'm like, I'm not gonna make this. All I know for sure from this is that sub 130 is definitely possible. I think I'm too far gone to like get it myself, but I forgot that's a big jump. I mean, I guess it might be possible. I just have to like nail the final chapter because there's only like 3 levels. So it still might be possible, but I'm not 100% on that. Like I said, I'm just glad that Twitch has cooperated this entire time. It's like when I did this beforehand, I wound up streaming the whole game, but I might not work, but But like, I wound up having to, when I submitted for the boards, I wound up using the long video, which is basically, for me, it was chapter 2 onwards. Luckily, and I just explained the situation, luckily that was significant enough for them to accept it. But oh, fuck. Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's real cool how speedrunning has become so popular. Like, there are flat out games like just made for speedrunners. Like the devs are like real into the idea. And like very accepting and accommodating. Oh no, damn it. Very accepting and accommodating of the runners and just being in sync with them about what they want and everything. Like, it's just so cool. Honestly, I kind of feel like that's the reason, because Cuphead recently, in like its most recent like big patch, or not a big patch, I guess it was a small one, but there's the big patch that created the problems, but it was very bad for the speedrunners. Like, a lot of people were just like really upset with it, and they did thankfully go back and give us the option to go play like pre-patch when all the cool stuff still worked. And so I feel like they probably did that for us, because I can't imagine like them doing it for anyone else. Like, so I mean, you could always down patch on your own, but like, get away from me. Thank you. Like, I don't see any other reason why they would have done that. But yeah, like I said, some communities, I mean, the Celeste community, like, they even stated in an interview, I think, that like the speedrunning community was a very large portion of their target audience. Yono, one of the other games I run, apparently some of the more active players, like the mods and stuff, have been talking a lot with the devs on Twitter and and stuff, so they seem very open to speedrunning as well. Like, it's cool to see it. It's such a popular thing anymore. It's just really awesome to see people embrace that. Okay, so I'm about an hour 25. I can guarantee you I'm not gonna get sub 30 on this run. But again, if anything, I've proved that it is possible, and extremely possible at that. Like, if I had done this deathless, like, oh boy. Like, I don't even inherently say an hour, because some of the levels are a little longer, but I would think at least maybe 120. If not even quicker. This isn't worrying about the candles either. Oh, if I had focused on getting all the candles, and if I was doing that category, it'd be a bit longer, of course, but I can't tell if jumping is actually faster or not. It feels like it might be, but I could just be making that shit up. I'm still surprised at that. Yeah, it's not fuck this. I'm in line here, so... There we go. Certainly it's faster there because I'm walking against the gear. Okay, we're partway up the lighthouse. So I only got 2 more levels. And then we'll be done. And yeah, it's yeah, good. I mean, good time for one run, just one and done for today. And I'll go eat and go watch my basketball game and come back, catch Hell's Kitchen, and then Halo. Depending on time, I might throw Halo 5 in there too. I mean, I know it's not part of the saga. Oop. But, I don't know. I feel like if I do that, though, I should probably throw in, like, ODST as well. And that's kind of not the point of what I'm trying to do. So I might just skip it. I mean, the whole reason I'm doing it in the first place is because I was playing, I think over last summer, maybe the summer before, I think it was the last one though, I was playing Master Chief Collection, and I was trying to do the Master Chief Saga playlist for the achievement. And what I didn't know was that it was a little bugged, and that there was a chance that, like, the game, it wasn't so much not saving your progress, but it would, like, what happened, I guess, was, like, going into Halo 4, it said I was supposed to be going into, I think, the second level of the original Halo. Oh. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's not right. But I really didn't think anything of it because it still loaded the next level correctly, and it was late at that point, so I'm like, you know what, maybe I should go to bed, and, like, it'll just save where I'm at, and I can just pick it up tomorrow. Well, I'm supposed to be on the second mission of Halo. Then I was kind of stuck starting, when I came back the next day to finish it off, it wouldn't put me in Halo 4, it'd put me back in the original Halo. And so I got real frustrated with it, and I just kind of gave up. And I figured I was real mad at Bungie or 343 or whoever too, because it's been a known bug since the day the game came out, and they haven't done anything with it. Not that I expect them to now, like, 4 years I think after it came out. Although I think they did say they were working on some stuff, I guess, with the Scorpio, or I guess the Xbox One X updates and whatnot, but I'm not fully expecting it to be fixed or anything. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll just, fuck it, I'll just marathon it and do it all in one. And apparently that's only when the problem is, like, there's no problem normally. Like, the problem is, I guess, that it tried to put me on a level because I quit when the next level thing wasn't correct. That's what caused the problem. If I had played it and beaten it and had done things, if it had corrected itself, like, next mission, then yeah, everything would have been okay. So this level right here, final boss of the game, for some reason, which I honestly wasn't paying attention to the first time I casually played. I say casually, but, like, my casual playthrough was also done fairly quickly, just to show that, oh yes, I needed video to get it on the speedrun boards, or make the board for it. So I kind of, like, was half paying attention there, but yeah, for some reason the lighthouse is attacking you. So this is a very interesting chapter, or level. It does get harder too. I jumped to it. Jumped a little too late. At some point, too, I would like to do a Mega Man decathlon. Or maybe even, I don't know, is there a word for, like, a decathlon but with 11 events? But my idea is to like, because Mega Man Legacy Collection and Legacy Collection 2 play through all the main series Mega Man, like classic Mega Man. Damn it, I didn't jump. The only problem is that Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 doesn't have Rockman and Forte in it, which I've never actually played in my life. Like, I've beaten all the other Mega Man, just never played Rockman and Forte. For Mega Man and Base, it was West. So I don't know if I should include that or not, but I think it'd be fun to do. I mean, some of the later games might take me a little while, but I think the last time I played Mega Man 2, it took me an hour and a half to finish. Oh, I was not sure I was going to for that one. Oh my god. I forget how intense this part gets when you can't fucking sleep. Okay, we got past that part. This last part I'm okay with. The idea is to not get hit by his laser. Because unlike the fire, it doesn't like immediately kill you, but it does like drain your health a lot. And like real quick too. So like look how little I am. So I have to be like extra careful. Not fun. Because as small as I am, like one wrong move. I think this is also the last. I'm gonna call this a boss. It's kind of the last one. Luckily, this one isn't bad. It's that third one. I think that's the oh. Yeah, at this point it's just walk to the end. So time ends technically when I get into this point. Time. Alright. Roughly, and I'll time it a little bit more officially, I
The
think,
lighthouse is still massive.
later. So I can just show my